All right, I'm the flat rate master. Being better at diagnostics, is it actually better for the shop? So last week I did a video talking about productivity not being the best metric for what's going on in the shop necessarily. Now, in filming that video, I had a large, long section talking about diagnostics and specifically properly billing for diagnostics and different issues that come from that when it comes to productivity. So we're going to do this video about that subject and kind of expand on it. So a friend of mine on Facebook shared my video. He knows who he is. I'm not going to mention him because he's at a new job and some of the frustrations I don't want to affect anything about his first 90 days. So, but he's noticed that his shop is not flat rate and he's noticing technicians have no problem asking for additional time for diagnostics, which is a good thing, but we'll get into some of the nuances there here in a minute. Let's take two technicians. Same vehicle, same situation. Technician A brings a car in, pulls codes, determines his path for diagnostics, and does not request any additional time than the hour that the shop has already sold. He goes in, he does his testing, and in that hour, he determines that vehicle needs an engine. He used a pressure transducer or other means to determine that engine is bad. So technician B is not as proficient. So he requests an additional 2 hours after the initial code scan, requesting additional time for teardown or compression testing or whatever. So technician B has sold 3 hours. So technician B does all of his testing. He comes to the same conclusion. It needs an engine. Did either one do the diagnostic wrong? No. So that car that needs an engine, the customer said, nope, getting rid of it. I'll send it to the junkyard or whatever, and did not approve the repair in either case. So let's look at the results for the shop. Technician A billed 1 hour. Technician B billed 3 hours. The customer declined the engine in both cases. So on paper, technician B is much more effective. Why? Because he sold more time. He made more money for the shop. Before anybody says, yes, diagnostics don't make anywhere near as much money as repairs. That's why you should have a higher diagnostic fee, but I digress. But when you look at it from a spreadsheet management viewpoint, higher average RO for a less competent tech. That is a huge problem. So first off, let's take flat rate out of the equation. We're just talking about what's best for the customer and the shop. So let's take the situation where technician A on paper only sold an hour. That's going to hurt average RO. ARO. That's another metric that shop owners love to look at. You know, let's use $100. Simple, easy math. $100 got billed on that one ticket or $300 got billed on that one ticket. What technician are they more likely to assign diagnostics to? The one that's going to not ask for additional time and come to the right conclusion with proof? No, they're going to penalize him. They're going to penalize him because he's effective. He doesn't try to ask for extra hours that he doesn't need because he can come to the right conclusion effectively, efficiently. Technician B, on the other hand, I need more time. So we're taking flat rate out of the equation. So really, we're talking about what's best for the customer. Penalizing the guy that is quick and effective, giving that ticket to the guy that's less effective, but will bill more time because he's going to ask for more time. Because you figure, think about it. Technician A is going to be penalized because, well, he's billing less hours. Even though he can go in the 2 other hours, go grab 2 more cars. But, you know, are they going to continue assigning diagnostics when he's only billing that 1 hour for a job that didn't sell? Or are they going to start dumping junk on him the really hard stuff that you have trouble billing properly for, and they're going to keep giving, the rest of the diagnostics to the kid that's going to ask for 2 or 3 more hours. Well, you need to bring your ARO up. And, well, that's an easy way. Bill more diagnostic time. And it's not a good thing or a good look for this industry. So, let's give a simple example. There's times where you need additional time, and I'm not going to disagree to that. Let's use a smoke test. You smoke the system, you get, let's say 1.5 hours to do a smoke test. So you do all your testing, you determine the leak is somewhere on top of the fuel tank. There's no access panel, et cetera, so you don't know whether it's the pump leaking, lines leaking, the actual gas tank leaking. Yes, I've seen that. So you have to ask for additional time to pull the fuel tank, not to mention approval. We know how customers are, and I don't have time for that. Give me back the car and the gas tank sitting on the ground. Been there, done that, actually. It sucks. All of a sudden, you got to put a car back together, and the customer's sitting there waiting, usually sitting outside your bay watching. But so there is times I think it's appropriate to ask for additional time, but on the other side of it, milking that additional time just because they will sell it is also not the best situation. I think a technician should value a customer's money. It's their money. We need to do what's right for the vehicle. And I've said this many times before. And pumping up a diagnostic bill just because you can is not a good reason. Being effective at fixing the car is where we all should strive to be. Are we all 100%? No. So there are definitely times you're going to need additional time to do additional testing, and I don't have a problem with that. But if you're assigning tickets to technicians that aren't efficient at doing diagnostics, you're doing a disservice to the customer. Handing that diagnostic to the guy that is effective at it is obviously going to be best for the customer. Because like I said, I'm not going asking for 3 hours knowing I can find it in 20 minutes just because I want more money. It's not right. So young technicians are not going to learn by osmosis. They have to do it. No matter how much Scanner Danner, Super Mario, they have to put it into practice. So now a shop should be paying for training. What do I mean by that? Well, if your technician's not flat rate and they're having to learn on the job, I think there should be some training sharing between the customer and the shop, meaning the customer shouldn't be paying 100% of the bill for them to be trained, if you know what I mean. So I think there should always be a balance of what's best for the technician as well as the shop and the customer. So I don't agree with pushing the cost of training a young technician onto the customer. I think that should be absorbed by the shop. And however they decide to do it, for instance, me, I got my butt kicked a lot, only got paid an hour, or didn't get paid at all for diagnostics, and had to learn how to be efficient at doing diagnostics. So I don't agree that customers should have to pay for your technician's training. Just being honest. You should be sending them to training, getting them more efficient at doing diagnostics instead of just pushing that kind of stuff off onto, more and more diagnostic fees or testing fees or whatever you want to call it. I don't think the customer should be paying for a technician's training. I think the shop should be. And, if you're not sending your technicians out for training and they're not getting more and more effective, it's not helping the image of the industry when you're calling back asking for 3 more hours for testing that another technician could have found in the allotted hour time frame. So just something to think about. As always, thanks for watching. I am the Flat Rate Master.